Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Without no further ado, let's get right into this one. So, recently, a robbery. So, this headline says a section of this shot-up Hawkeye security car in which the officer was killed on Sunday morning in Montego Bay, St. James. And it shows a picture of a car, right? I'm going to insert the picture of the car for you right here.
Alright, so right here we're looking at the Hawkeye vehicle where the robbers shot into the vehicle. What I want you to pay attention to are the bullet holes. I'm going to talk to you about the bullet holes later. Look at each pair of bullet holes and look at how close each pair is. But look at the whole set of bullet holes and look how they're all concentrated in one general area.
And then I'm going to talk about what I think based on just the picture alone. Now, let's not forget, you're talking about 10 years of military experience, U.S. Army infantry. That means we eat, breathe, sleep, live, gun. Okay? Gun. Tactics, war tactics, and guns. Alright? And I'm going to use that expertise to give my opinion. Now, remember, people, it's only my opinion, and you are free to come put your opinion in the comment section as well, as long as you keep it clean. Alright, so the story says detectives assigned to the St. James Police Division are probing the shooting death of 2 men and the injuring of another during a robbery on Jarrett Street in Montego Bay in the parish on Sunday, March 10th. Dead is 61-year-old Canute Earl, security guard of Norwood, a 41-year-old Floyd Wilson, driver of Rosemount Gardens, both in St. James. Police reports are that about 8 a.m. Earl and another security guard were traveling in a marked Hawkeye motorcar that was escorting Wilson, who was driving a Toyota Hiace minivan with a passenger aboard in Montego Bay. On reaching a section of Jarrett Street in the city, they encountered a situation where a motor vehicle was reportedly used to block the roadway. Block them off. The men, armed with guns, suddenly alighted from the vehicle that was blocking. So, see, it's a setup. This is called an ambush. Okay? So you're going to drive in. I'm going to go around, cut you off right there. You can't go any further. We're going to jump out of this vehicle right here and hold you at arms. Or start firing into the vehicle, whichever one is convenient or according to plan, as this went down. So they said that the men alighted from the vehicle that were blocking the thoroughfare. The assailants allegedly opened fire on both the Hawkeye vehicle and the Toyota Hiace van before taking what the police said was an undetermined amount of cash from the scene. I've heard the amount. Unconfirmed reports on the ground suggest that the amount taken was as much as, or probably a little over, $20 million in one go, in one lick. I know people are going to say, SouFlo, why are you smirking or smiling? People always find things that have nothing to do with nothing, right? I'm smirking because I'm that kind of person. Imagine being the robber and you pull a heist off. 20 million in one go. It's a cool heist. The sad part about this is it cost some people their lives. Okay? This is like a movie script that was properly executed. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, both security guards and Wilson, who appeared to have died on the spot, were taken to the hospital where Earl and Wilson were pronounced dead and the other security guard admitted in stable condition. The passenger in the Hiace van was not hurt in the incident. Investigations into the matter continues. I want to know who was the passenger. I want to know who was the passenger. Was that passenger responsible for that money? And if that passenger was responsible for that money, going to make a drop for a company or a particular business individual, so on and so forth. I want to know, is it a regular routine where that passenger is known to move money from one location to banking to another location, etc., etc., and how often does this passenger do so? Now, here's the thing. I am trying to establish a motive because the passenger was not hurt. $20 million missing. 2 people are dead and 1 seriously injured. So it tells me that this is some kind of an inside job. Someone knew what time they were going to be approaching a certain point. It's like, yo man, every Wednesday, I tell you, I'm coming here, so at this particular time. So I set it up this way. That's how that seems to me. That's why they were able to block them off where they blocked them off at, carefully execute that plan, and done away with it. Here's the thing. The first time I saw, I'm going to read you some people's comment. That's why I love talking to many different people, because many different people looking at the same problem from different angles can give you many different views into what it actually is, right? And you can pick sense out of nonsense until you come up with a good picture of what happened. Now, the first time I saw the picture of the car, we call these controlled pairs, okay? So controlled pairs is bop bop, bop bop, bop bop, and you don't fire your weapon, so you lose control of your weapon. So you're firing your weapon, bow 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 bow. You're likely to lose control of your weapon. I'm gonna say this. They knew also, I mean, it's Harkai security. I'm guessing they're armed, right? And people know that. So there wasn't no tech check with these people. And we already know how our people do too. These guys probably would have died for the client that they were transporting had they been confronted, hey, give up the money, that kind of thing, right? It would have turned into exchange of gunfire and the perpetrators having to duck, run for cover, and fight their way out of a firefight. They didn't give them a chance to fight their way out of a firefight. Now, I'm saying from experience, had I been in that vehicle as a guard, the minute that vehicle pulled around, soon as it pulled around in front of us, I would have started lighting it up. Bop, 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 right into the driver's side, right? I guess they did not do that. They were probably caught off guard. They were like, I want my wagwan. And before they know it, they were under fire and getting hit by a gunshot and too late to return fire, right? Slow reaction. Now, looking at the picture, controlled pairs. These are controlled pairs. I'm going to insert this picture again, so you can have a look at it. Look at how closely each one of these bullets are. Start with looking from the left-hand side to the right-hand side of the picture. Those bullets are tight. We call these controlled pairs, and we call them groups. This is a tight shot group, okay? This tells me that this is someone that has training with the weapon that they're using. And I would even go as far as to say this person has some kind of military training or police training.
Alright, so let's have another look. So right here, looking from left to right. Pop, 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 pop. All those holes are extremely close. Now, someone without training, there's a slim chance to none that they were able to do this right here. This is someone that knows exactly what they were doing because they were trained to do controlled pairs. That's the name of it, controlled pairs.
With this type of a shot group under those circumstances. Now a brave man could have done it, yes. If he's out in the woods, way up in the mountains, practicing, and he has a brave heart. The thing about this is, when you're in the middle of a firefight or a situation like this, your adrenaline is pumping so much, it's very hard to lay down your controlled pairs in such a tight shot group, right? But again, they were not being fired back upon. I haven't heard any stories of the guards got off a couple of rounds and the guys had to run and duck and take cover and fire back. It was no firefight. They were ambushed, straight shot up, money taken, out of there. 1, 2, 3, go. Perfectly executed. Now, on the whole notion of, someone contacted me and them said, SouFlo, look at this and tell me what you think. With all your years of expertise in the military, tell me what you think. Funny enough, before that person contacted me, as soon as I saw the picture, that was the first thing that I thought. I said, this is someone that is well trained. Someone said, yo, you did a video yesterday about Canadians missing in Jamaica. The one with the tattoo around his neck, check him background, see if he has any military training or any criminal records or anything. And if it's not him, who else is missing in Jamaica? Because people could be trained overseas, and it take nothing for a man to come in on a 2-day, 3-day trip to Jamaica, pull off one of these moves and fly back out the country, right? I love when people think outside the box, for sure, for sure. But here's my thing. There are a lot of people in Jamaica that have been trained, okay? You have people that went into the police force and went soldier, and then they left it, and they're not that anymore. And they're out there roaming around in society, you know what I'm saying? And no one's keeping tabs on them. So I wouldn't so much think that someone bought tickets, flew into the country for 2 days, did something like this and flew back out on schedule, even though leave no stones unturned, could very well be so. But I'll more think along the lines of this person was trained. And we don't know if it's through police training, soldier training, or security forces training. I don't know how good the security forces are trained. And I heard that Harkai is known for hiring ex-military, ex-police officers, etc. So again, people with training, right? Now, looking at some of the comments here, shout out to The Loop because this is where I'm sourcing this piece of information from. Some of the comments are so on point. Alexis F. said, I'm convinced that the person that did this is either trained in military or police weapons training. You can't tell me these are just regular gunmen who can just kill and escape off the face of the earth without a trace. Knowing where to drive, when to hide, how to shoot, it's very odd. Nachenry88 has a good answer though. Nachenry says, an untrained carrier or carrier of automatic rifles can carry out a successful ambush like that robbery. It just takes guts, my friend, and it's simple and can be learned from movies. The van pathway is blocked by a car carrying men with automatic rifles. The car, following with 2 security guards with semi-automatic handguns, are now startled as to why the van before them has stopped. With rifles blazing, no questions asked. Right? The gunmen exited their car, shooting at the armed security guards, giving them no time. That's what I said earlier, giving them no time. They're just there sitting in their vehicle wondering what's going on. Then quickly shoot the driver of the van and grab the money, take off. That takes less than a minute. And it doesn't take a trained person to operate a rifle effectively at that close range in an ambush. So stop the speculations and dirt slinging at the security forces. What you see, let me stop at that comment there. That's the thing that killed me about people. They're always ready to defend what does not need to be defended. No one is saying, is police and soldier doing it? We're saying these people have training like police and soldiers. And it could be someone that was in the force but exited the force. This makes them no longer a uniformed police officer or soldier. But it doesn't take away from the fact that that is where they got their training from. Right? The person went on to say, what would make a difference is if armed security guards were in front and back of the van transporting the money. In that scenario, people would have still died, yes, including the robbers. And the robbery most likely would not have been successful. So, there are lessons to be learned here by security companies from the deadly robbery. Armed escorts must be in front and in back of the vehicle they're protecting. All right. Now, before I go on and read any more, let me give you another military tactics skill. And they can probably learn. You know what? I was going to say they need to call me, because I could teach them something or two. But this person is right in a way. And you never take people for face value or for what you see on the internet, because you never know. This person right here that made this comment could very well be some military trained individual as well, right? And he's giving but not giving too much. I was going to give you, all I'm going to say is, you never roll out the way that they rolled out. And he is right, right? There should have been a vehicle in the front and a vehicle in the back. I was going to add more to that to make it even more strategic and harder to hit. But I'll save that for another time. Huh? Yeah, wife is saying robbers and crooks are probably watching my channel and taking notes. So I'll leave that for another time. I might tell someone in the comment section what I was going to say here, but they rolled out wrong in the first place. All right? So Pelu Dennis says this was a straight setup. No random or coincidence so early. The moment the archive vehicle spot that car blocking their path, they should have responded right away. In that situation like this one, 1 second is a very long time to save your own life. And Pelu Dennis is exactly right. What did I say in the beginning? I said if it was me riding in that vehicle, the moment that vehicle pulled in front of me and blocked the road, I would have started firing right into the driver's side of that vehicle. That means whoever else is in that vehicle, they're going to have to escape on foot. Or push your buddy out the way and drive that vehicle, because your driver is dead. Disable a vehicle. I'm firing into the driver's side and I'm firing at your tires. They took too long to respond. They took too long to respond and they rolled out in the wrong way. Explain what you mean by setup, Sandon asks Pelu Dennis. Which crime of that nature isn't a setup? Did you read the account of the witness in the Uchen's case currently before the court? The man said they will go in an area and study and plan for upwards to 2 weeks before they carry out their acts, which means they will study the movement of money before they act. Study would mean that they know the time, the parties involved, the streets used, which means them set up them own thing. Yeah, a little bit I agree with that, but not really. Check it. This was executed properly, which tells me that this had some inside help. I don't know inside help from who, but it had some inside help, and that's why I said I want to know who was the passenger in this vehicle and whose money was being transferred. That's what I want to know. Pelu is arguing back. Pelu says, you talking garbage. My brother was killed recently almost in the same fashion. And let me tell you something, boy. The killer leave all the way from St. James into St. Elizabeth. You know how far that is? The killer told the judge it was for 4 of them arrive at the bank that morning where my brother was working. They said they got help from someone living in that area. They entered the bank and robbed it and used my brother's own gun and kill him. So you can continue with your assuming. Sandon says, I see you lack reading comprehension skills. Your reply just made the case I make. The killer who allegedly killed your claimed brother were from out of town, which means they came into town, scope out the area, plan their crime. No, Sandon, you have an issue, because she clearly said that the help was from inside of the bank, or not inside of the bank, but from that area, which means the killers that came from out of town, they had help from the area. Them never come in and scope out nothing. Somebody scope it out already for them there and plan it. They came in and executed. She says, Sandon, kiss my ass. Okay, 2 more comments and I'm done. Sandon says, well, it looks like a group of people lobbied to campaign the puss, to contain the puss, so that the rats can again take over the city. Some ugly things are yet to happen in this city. We are in trouble. Looks like Montego Bay will have to invest in permanent military-style overhead reconnaissance to capture every square inch of this town and its surroundings. I saw them kill when they were, I saw kill them when they, I say kill them when they are caught. Trials and imprisonment is a waste of time. I'm trying to read how it's written, but I have to make it make back sense to you, because they made some mistakes here. Mention, last comment. Mention says, hands down, this is a setup. What happened to the Brink services? The culprit's supposed to be on camera anyway. The whole business community and tourism hub have to be upgraded with the best surveillance on the market, especially since of previous daylight shooting in the city. Criminals walk because of unclear surveillance. So what he's saying is, in modern times now, there is 1080 HD surveillance equipment out there. I don't know why we're still investing in the lowest grade, where when the video comes in, we still can't even tell who is on those videos. I'm going to tell you one thing. A vehicle or a Hawkeye rolling out like this, Hawkeye's vehicles are supposed to be equipped with running recording cameras. That means even after everything shoot out, there should be camera footage left to say, okay, this is what the suspects look like, this is what the vehicle they were traveling in looked like, so on, so on, forth. But nothing is left other than 2 dead men and 1 injured and 1 unharmed and $20 million gone. Leave your comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. Do you think that this was done by individuals that have military or police training, or do you think that the bad man them just brave and bold and well tactical and intelligent like this to pull this off? I'm curious to know as well what you think. Alright? It's SouFLoTV, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. And they could have learned a thing or two from me, because it wouldn't have happened that way. I'm out. Peace.